Happy weekend from Fextralife. If you've been too busy to keep up on the latest in the games we cover, or are looking for a refresher, we've got your back. Let's take a look at the comings and goings across the Fextralife Wiki Network.
Moving like a soldier.
Bandai Namco and From Software have announced the second and final DLC for Dark Souls 3, titled The Ring City. The announcement coincided with the new trailer and screenshots for the expansion. This new adventure has players chasing after the slave knight Gale to the literal end of the world as he searches for the dark soul of humanity. As players make their way to the fabled Ring City, they'll encounter ancient beasts, a new cast of characters teetering on the edge of insanity, new armor, weapons, magic, and at the bottom of it all, a long-lost city filled with new horrors for players to overcome. The new DLC launches March 28th on PS4, Xbox One, and PC for $14.99 or as part of the Season Pass. The developers recommend it for players who have completed Lothric Castle. On April 21st, Dark Souls 3 The Fire Fades Edition will release in Europe and Japan, which includes the base game as well as both expansions, Ashes of Ariandel and the Ring City. Community member Scarecrow13 has also put a trailer and screenshot analysis up on the blog. Put on your speculation hat and give it a read. We're looking forward to the end of March as Dark Souls 3 comes to its conclusion. Earlier this month, we received confirmation that Mass Effect Andromeda will be available to play via early access on both the EA Access and Origin Access programs on Xbox One and PC. Publisher EA has announced that the game will be made available for these programs on March 16th. Players will be able to play the main game for 10 hours and unlimited multiplayer, and progress will carry over to the full game when it releases. BioWare also this week released a new cinematic trailer for Mass Effect Andromeda. The trailer starts with a look at a world called Habitat 7, a potential new Earth for the 20,000 souls who have made the journey to the Andromeda Galaxy. We see shots of the Nexus Station and the Arks and get a look at the Tempest as it encounters a hostile antagonist named the Archon. We get looks at some of the main character Ryder squad mates Peebee, Liam, Cora, and Drac, as well as a glimpse at a new race and the tensions that explorers will be encountering, as well as some romance. BioWare then released the next Andromeda Initiative briefing video, which goes a little more in depth with the characters in the game. It's pretty entertaining stuff overall. Mass Effect Andromeda releases March 21st for PS4, Xbox One, and PC, and this is going to be one of the more packed first quarters in gaming in a long time. If you've been kicking around the wide world of Final Fantasy XV since last November and are looking for something new to do, the Moogle Chocobo Carnival has begun this week. The carnival will take over the town of Alticia and will run until February 20th. Everyone who owns the game can participate in the event. All you have to do is download the first free DLC, the Holiday Pack, which brings some free goodies to players like outfits, items, and the Carnival Passport, which gains you access to the festivities. The game can be accessed from outside the story at any time. Once there, you can travel around the city via its signature gondola network as you explore the various games and atmosphere. The activation of the carnival will also coincide with a new update that introduces a self-photography mode for players. Have yourself a grand time and enjoy the goodies. Nioh's Last Chance demo was last weekend, and we had a blast carving our way through Team Ninja's brutal RPG one last time before it launches on February 7th. This was our first hands-on time with the game since last year's beta demo, and it was a chance to see all the new changes implemented after the community feedback survey. The demo features a few new missions, some new bosses, and an in-depth look at the game's deep blacksmith upgrade system. For the community, it definitely pushed all the right buttons. Check out our community impressions piece on the blog for more. Nioh is shaping up to be an early surprise contender for Game of the Year. We have to say, we saw this coming. Later in the week, Team Ninja released 17 new screenshots that show some action sequences as well as some new NPCs that protagonist William will be encountering on his journey through Japanese history, such as Yusuke, Tenkai, Fuku, and main villain Edward Kelly. The shots also show a look at a picturesque new location called the Ibukiyama stage. We've got less than 2 weeks until Nioh's release. Be sure to bookmark the wiki because you're going to need it. Blizzard has unleashed their newest Overwatch event, Year of the Rooster, on the masses. It is now live for players on all platforms and runs until February 13th. Here's the details of what the event brings. Lunar loot boxes can be earned or purchased, and each will contain at least one item from the Year of the Rooster collection of cosmetics. There's also a new Brawl mode called Capture the Rooster. In Capture the Rooster, teams will face off in Lijiang Tower, attempting to secure the enemy flag while the opposing team does the same. In this fast-paced brawl, players will need to get creative with their team compositions as they attempt to construct a lineup that's built for offensive speed and defensive stability. You can always count on Blizzard to keep things fresh for players. See you on the battlefield. Square Enix and Platinum Games have detailed some of the locations and activities players will be exploring in the upcoming Nier Automata, which releases for the PS4 on February 23rd in Japan, March 7th in North America, and the 10th in EU. A PC release is coming later this year. Combat was also explained more, specifically unarmed combat, which will let the player use dedicated movesets for the hand-to-hand combat when they have unequipped weapons. This is the fastest, but least powerful form of fighting in the game. As we've seen before, mounts will also be in the game. To ride them, you'll have to lure them with bait and then hop on them to use them as a means of transportation. So far, deer and boars are rideable mounts. There will also be some diversionary activities players can get into, similar to Final Fantasy XV, such as fishing and jukebox listening. Budding DJs can even remix the songs if they'd like. We can see that Nier Automata is not simply a standard action RPG, but instead has the kind of quirks and wrinkles that give a game character. A demo is available right now on the PlayStation Store for PS4 players and is very much worth checking out for those interested in stylized high-speed action with some deeper elements. The week of image teasing through Obsidian Entertainment's Twitter account has finally come to a culmination as the developer has announced Pillars of Eternity 2: Deadfire, a direct sequel to Pillars of Eternity, which will be coming to PC sometime in the future with no release date set. Along with the announcement, they've launched a crowdfunding campaign for the game via the Fig Equity crowdfunding platform. The campaign is seeking at least 1.1 million USD, with 2.25 million USD open for equity and will end February 24th. Last year, we saw an alternative history sequel to the game in Tyranny, which imagined a world where evil had won. As a direct sequel to the critically acclaimed Pillars of Eternity 2 will make the statue of Nioh, which was conceived as an elaborate side quest, and make it the central point of the game. Players will traverse land and sea and will encounter new worlds and new peoples. The NPCs you encounter will all behave according to their own schedules, opening up opportunities for dynamic quests. Old faces from the original game will be making a return. The game will feature diverse weather cycles, revised spells and abilities, and a redesigned interface. Obsidian also said that players will continue the story begun as a watcher and see how your decisions in Direwood persist in Deadfire, which may be a hint that your saves will carry over. We anticipated an exciting reveal, and Obsidian did not disappoint. Deck 13 and Focus Home Interactive have announced that mech action RPG The Surge will be releasing this May for PS4, Xbox One, and PC. No exact date within May was shared. The announcement for the sci-fi Souls-like from the makers of Lords of the Fallen also coincided with the short cinematic clip. Main character Warren's first day of work at Creo is an environmental disaster of epic proportions. The trailer sets the backdrop for the events of the game and provides a reason for all the hacking of enemy limbs for use as weapons or to upgrade your armor. Looking forward to punching in this May. Funcom has released a brutal cinematic trailer for their upcoming survival RPG Conan Exiles, which will be coming to early access for PC players on January 31st. Xbox One is getting a spring preview in the near future, no word on a PS4 release. They also announced the Barbarian edition of the game, which is a special edition for the most enthused of Conanites. The standard edition of the game will cost $29.99 USD, while the Barbarian edition will set you back $59.99. Special editions of games are common, but not many come with shirts, comics, and tabletop RPG books. We put together an extensive preview of Conan Exiles just last week and came away impressed with the potential the game has as an open world sandbox in a survival genre that is typically austere. Putting the crafting formula into the pulpy, over-the-top world of Conan the Barbarian opens up new, entire avenues for gory fun that aren't limited to just making new tools and weapons, but actual buildings and conquests. This week, we published the first in a monthly Fextralife series highlighting the top 5 RPGs for the next month. In our first entry, we took a look at what we think are the best RPGs releasing in the month of February, and we talked a little about each and why we think so highly of them. Give the video a look and a like, and subscribe to stay tuned for more. And that's a wrap for the Week in Wikis. We're looking forward to another great week of gaming fun. Don't forget to check out our VIP program for some exclusive supporter benefits, and budding writers should take advantage of our Become an Author initiative. Thanks for a great week, and as always, keep checking in with us for news, reviews, YouTube streams and videos, and general wiki goodness. Follow us on social media for all the latest and greatest. The more followers we get, the larger the army of the Fexes grows.